Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. Come join us as His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami Maharaj reads from the new Sri Krishna Chaitanya book on January 14th, 2019 in Chennai, India.
Sri Chaitanya Ishvara Hari Om Tat Sat. So since today is the Rath Yatra day, and basically there's no listeners here.
So since today is the Rath Yatra day, and basically there are no listeners here.
So just my secretaries are running the audio video cameras.
Who are readying the audio video cameras
So have
to have questions and answers.
But then there's no one else to ask questions but yourself.
But there's nobody who asks the questions.
Previous day questions.
Here are some previous days questions. Vijaya Radha Devi Dasi. So the question is how to develop unflinching faith. To associate with devotees who have unflinching faith.
Otherwise, the process of Bhakti Yoga
is to gradually increase your faith. Which becomes unflinching. So the question from Rasapriya Gopika, how yes, how can we understand that our services are pleasing for Guru and Gauranga? If our services are not pleasing, does it affect our taste in chanting?
There's two parts to your question.
Well, there are two parts to your question.
One, how do I know if my service is pleasing to Guru?
One is that how do I know that my service is pleasing to the Guru?
If we are doing something which he asked us to do,
if we are doing something which he has asked us to do,
then it's usually pleasing to him.
Then it is usually pleasing to him.
If we're doing something which is what our authorities request us to do,
if we are doing something which our authorities have requested us to do,
and it doesn't go in contradiction with anything the Guru told us,
and which doesn't go with any contradiction which our Guru has told us,
and not something that is completely against our nature,
and which is not completely against our nature,
then usually it's very pleasing.
Then usually it's very pleasing.
If it's something that's against our nature,
if it is something which is against our nature,
but it's something that is urgently needed,
but it's that something which is urgently needed,
and sometimes by fulfilling that, one gets a special mercy from the Guru.
And sometimes by fulfilling that, one gets special mercy by Guru.
And then, what was the second part?
If if our services are not pleasing, does it affect our taste in chanting?
If you don't carry out the order of your guru,
If you don't carry out of the order of your Guru,
then that's the third offense to the holy name.
then that's the third offense to the holy name.
And naturally that will be something that hampers our taste.
And naturally, that is something which hampers our taste. So, next question is from Prananath Prabhu. Srila Guru Maharaj, when you will hold the big kartals?
Good question.
Good question.
I think that in Mayapur.
I think that in Mayapur.
I think they are in Mayapur.
I think they are in Mayapur.
So when I got back there, I was thinking to practice them again.
So I was thinking when I get back to Mayapur, I'll practice them again.
Would you like that?
Would you like that? So question from Nandapriya Prema Devi Dasi. Nandapriya Prema Devi Dasi. So she is asking, how do we give up our false ego in life, particularly in difficult or challenging situations with other devotees?
False ego is where we identify ourselves as the body.
The false ego is really identified as self as the body.
If someone tells us, oh, you're ugly,
If someone tells us, oh, that you are ugly,
we get affected.
we get affected.
That's false ego.
That's false ego.
If someone tells, oh, you're beautiful,
If someone tells, oh, you're beautiful,
and we're affected,
and we are affected,
that's false ego.
that's false ego.
So, people can say different things,
So people can say different things,
but we don't take it so serious
but we don't take that so serious
because we know that's temporary.
because we know that it's temporary.
And we want to realize our real ego, which is as a servitor of Krishna.
We want to realize our real ego, which is the service to Krishna.
So, false ego is the most subtle thing that ties us to this material world.
So, false ego is a very subtle thing which ties us to this material world.
So, Krishna, he gives certain instructions to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita.
So, Krishna gives certain instructions to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita
So that he can overcome the false ego.
so that he can overcome the false ego.
And by dovetailing our ego in the service of Krishna,
And by dovetailing our ego in the service of Krishna,
that's a positive situation.
that's positive situation.
For instance, Arjuna was a father,
For instance, Arjuna was a father,
he was a householder,
he was householder,
he was a prince,
he was a prince,
he was the general in charge of the army.
he was general in charge of the army.
So Krishna didn't tell him that you should give up everything and be a sannyasi.
So Krishna did not tell him that you should give up everything and become a sannyasi.
Rather, he said you should carry out your duties as you are,
Rather, he said you should carry out your duty as what you are,
but you should do so as an offering to me.
but you should do so as an offering to me.
So Lord Chaitanya also said, Grihe Thako Bole Thako Sadahari Bole Thako.
So Lord Chaitanya also said, Grihe thako, bone thako, sadahari bole dako.
Whether you are a grihastha, whether you are a mendicant,
Whether you are a grihastha or a mendicant,
you should chant Hare Krishna
you should chant Hare Krishna
loudly and stay fixed in Krishna consciousness.
loudly and stay fixed in Krishna consciousness. Charu Rupa Madhav Das. So he's asking, can we read Chaitanya Charitamrit before completing Srimad Bhagavatam? Can we read Chaitanya Charitamrit before reading Srimad Bhagavatam? Since completing Srimad Bhagavatam would take a long time, and I have read somewhere that Chaitanya Charitamrit should be studied only after completing Srimad Bhagavatam.
Generally, we read the Srimad Bhagavatam first, and then the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Generally, we read Srimad Bhagavatam first and then Chaitanya Charitamrita.
But we can start reading the Bhagavatam and simultaneously read Chaitanya Charitamrita.
But we can start reading Bhagavatam and simultaneously we can read Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Usually the Chaitanya Charitamrita philosophy is very high and one may not understand it.
But usually the philosophy in Chaitanya Charitamrita is very high and one may not understand it.
I'm trying to write a Krishna type book
I'm trying to write a Krishna type book
for Lord Chaitanya's pastime.
for Lord Chaitanya's pastimes
Keep the philosophy down
and keep the philosophy down.
so that then one can go and read the Chaitanya Charitamrita and get all the philosophy.
Then one can read the Chaitanya Charitamrita and get all the philosophy.
So it's good to read a little bit of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, but
So it's good that we know a little bit of Chaitanya Charitamrita, but
not that you leave aside the Srimad Bhagavatam.
it's not that you leave aside Srimad Bhagavatam thoroughly.
You should have a regular routine of reading the Srimad Bhagavatam.
You should have a regular routine of reading Srimad Bhagavatam.
If you have time, then you can read a little bit of the Chaitanya Charitamrita as well.
If you have time, you can read Chaitanya Charitamrita as well.
Or the Sri Krishna Chaitanya book that I'm writing.
Or the Sri Krishna Chaitanya book which I am compiling. This is from Nanda Gopi Priya. How do we beg forgiveness for fall downs from Guru and continue our devotional service?
Reason not to reveal your mind to the Guru.
There is no reason to reveal your mind to Guru. To not reveal your mind to your Guru.
If you have had trouble with one of the principles, you can get some advice from your spiritual master.
If you had trouble in following some regulative principle, you could get some guidance from your spiritual master.
If you have recovered, then all the better to tell him you had difficulty, but now you come back to the strict standard.
But if you have recovered, then it's all good, but you still can tell your spiritual master that you recovered, but you had difficulty before.
And sometimes one is having difficulty with principle, but it's not as serious as they think.
But sometimes one has difficulty in following one regulative principle, but it is not as serious as they think.
It's better to reveal to the spiritual master.
So it's better to reveal to the spiritual master.
Bible.
So this is from Fani Pisapati, Faneshwari Lakshmi Devi Dasi. So the question is, sometimes because of our family responsibilities, we are unable to have personal association with devotees. Although our family is supportive but not so into Krishna consciousness, how to keep up our enthusiasm?
You don't mention if you're married and you have your husband is supportive or not.
You didn't mention that you're married and your husband is supportive or not.
If, of course, nowadays there's email and WhatsApp phone calls.
It's of course nowadays it's emails, WhatsApp, or phone calls.
And you can talk to your friends.
You can talk to your parents.
And this way, somehow have a audio association or even video with Zoom or Skype.
In this way, you can have an audio or video association with Zoom or Skype
or WhatsApp.
or WhatsApp.
I don't really understand when someone says they lack association.
I don't really understand what the people mean when they say they really lack association.
I had someone say, some of my friends, they spend so much time on Facebook.
I had someone say that I spend so much time,
My friends,
my friends spend so much time on Facebook.
and I said, I asked how long?
I asked how long?
I said, 8 hours.
They said 8 hours.
How long you spend?
And how long you spend?
Only 3 hours.
Only 3 hours.
So they have 3 hours to spend on Facebook.
They have 3 hours to spend on Facebook,
But then they say they don't have time for association.
but then they say they don't have time for association.
I don't know who they associate with on Facebook.
I don't know who they are associating with on Facebook.
So we are on Facebook, and this question and answer is being broadcast on Facebook.
We are on Facebook and this question and answer is being broadcasted on Facebook.
So any technology can be used in a positive way or a negative way.
So any technology could be used in a positive way or a negative way.
Sometimes people are giving false news.
Sometimes people are giving false news.
Sometimes giving positive association.
Sometimes it can give any positive association.
When I woke up this morning, I remembered how
When I woke up this morning, I remembered how
Lord Chaitanya was so merciful.
Lord Chaitanya was so merciful.
There's a Lochan Das song.
There's a Lochan Das song.
Neko ore bhai, tribhuvane nai,
देखो 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 भाई त्रिभुवने নাই
amana dayalo data,
এমন দয়ালু দাতা
vasu bhagi dure,
পশু পাখি ঝুরে
vasana vidore,
বাসন ভিতরে
suneta gunagata.
শুনে তার গুণ গাতা.
That, my dear brothers, look at, there's no one in the three worlds
Look, my dear brothers, look that there is no one in the three worlds
as merciful as Nitai Gaur.
as merciful as Nitai Gaur.
Lord Chaitanya made the animals chant, dance, and cry.
Lord Chaitanya made the animals chant, dance, and cry.
He melted the stones.
He melted the stones.
See his fantastic qualities.
Seeing his fantastic qualities,
So I just remember how merciful is Lord Chaitanya.
so I was just remembering how merciful is Lord Chaitanya.
And then Lord Chaitanya says that Sansar Mojia,
And Lochan Das says, Sansar Mojia,
Rohile Korea,
Rohile Podia,
Se Pode Nahilas.
Se Pode Nahiro As.
I am suffering and enjoying in the material ocean of birth and death.
I am suffering and enjoying in the material ocean of birth and death.
I have fallen there hopelessly.
I have fallen there hopelessly.
I have no hope for getting the shelter of the all-merciful Nitai Gaurachan.
I have no hope of getting the shelter of the all merciful Nitai Gaur Chandra.
I am suffering and enjoying according to my karma.
I am suffering and enjoying according to my karma.
So, this sounds like Lochan Das.
So this is sung by Lochan Das.
So, Lord Chaitanya is so merciful.
So Lord Chaitanya is so merciful,
So merciful.
so merciful.
We would have no hope,
We would have no hope.
but Prabhupada brought Nitai Gaur to us.
But Prabhupada brought Nitai Gaur to us.
And they're giving their mercy out.
And they are giving the mercy out.
And they think, oh, how can I get the mercy? They want to give it so bad.
And we are thinking, oh, how to get the mercy. We are thinking these, that, so many things. But he is thinking, but he is giving the mercy.
He wants to give, he doesn't think this person is qualified, this one unqualified. He gives freely to everybody.
He wants to give the mercy. He doesn't see this person is qualified or this person is not qualified. He wants to give the mercy to everyone.
Jai Madai were evil people.
Jagai Madai were evil people.
They commit so many offenses.
They have committed so many offenses.
Yamaraj, he asked how many sins were they cleared from.
Then Yamaraj asked that how many sins were they cleared from.
And his clerk said that if we put it all to writing, it would fill up warehouse after warehouse after warehouse.
And it was said that if we write all the offenses they did, it would fill up the warehouses after warehouses after warehouses.
We would have a team of architects working, designing special hell for them.
We would have architects designing special hells for them.
Nitai Gaur freed them all.
Nitai Gaur freed them all.
Why is there slight clean? Clean.
He cleaned.
And then anyone criticized them later on.
And anyone criticized them later on,
He said it's offensive to bring up a person's past life.
he said it's offensive to bring up one person's past life.
He's a devotee. I don't care what he was before.
He is a devotee. We don't care what he was before.
So Lord Chaitanya Nityananda, they want to give their mercy to you.
So Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya, they want to give this mercy to you.
Please take it.
Please take it. So this is from Sasi Mukhi Radha Devi Dasi.
Sasimukhi.
Sometimes when she lives in Mayapur now.
The greatest book distributors in the world.
Her father and mother are the greatest book distributor. Her father is the greatest book distributor in the world. One of the greatest.
Mother worships many sadhus.
A mother worships many shaligrams.
Could be one from Malaysia also.
She could be one from Malaysia also. Guru Maharaj was talking about Chandramukhi. Guru Maharaj was talking about Chandramukhi Radha. So the question from Sashi Mukhi Radha Devi Dasi. Sometimes when I am sick, I find it difficult to chant. How much harder it must be when it's time to leave the body? How to chant or do devotional service when the body is not feeling up for it? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said
he liked to walk
he would like to walk
when he chanted.
when he chanted.
He was very active.
He was very active.
So he didn't like sitting and chanting.
So he didn't like sitting and chanting.
He would walk,
He would walk,
pace back and forth chanting. Pace back and forth chanting.
pace back and forth chanting.
So, as far as leaving our body,
As far as
leaving our body,
leaving our body,
Krishna helps us then.
Krishna helps us then.
We should practice chanting in all situations.
And we should practice chanting in all situations.
Because the time of death, of course, is the most difficult time.
Because the time of death is the most difficult time.
I went to the dentist. He said
When I went to the dentist, he said
the greatest suffering is kidney stones,
he said the greatest suffering is kidney stones,
childbirth,
childbirth,
dying,
dying,
and dental.
and dental surgeries.
Welcome to your dentist. Welcome to your dentist.
Welcome to your dentist.
So he said that dying was one of the most difficult times.
So he said dying is one of the most difficult times.
That's why we need to practice chanting now.
That's why we need to practice chanting now,
That we can chant the time when we leave our body.
so that we can chant when we are to leave our body.
But even if we can't,
But even if we can't,
if we've been good and chanted all during our life,
if we have chanted all through our life,
at the time of leaving our body, Krishna will help us.
at the time of leaving our body, Krishna will help us.
We can remember Tapta Kanchani Gaurangi.
We could remember Tapta Kanchani Gaurangi. She is one of the devotee attending Guru Maharaj's class.
I mean Radharani.
So Guru Maharaj means Radharani, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi.
Of course, Tapta Kanchani Devi Dasi is here.
Of course, Tapta Kanchana Devi Dasi is here.
By coincidence.
By coincidence. Kavalya Sundari says, wow, you came back online.
We usually have class up to about 9.
We usually have class up to 9.
So we started at 8:25, went to a little after 9.
So we started today at 8:25 and in 8:25 and we went up to 9.
Because most of the devotees went to the Rath Yatra, we had question and answers tonight.
Because most of the devotees went to Rath Yatra, we had question answers.
This was my first class in the caravan.
This was my first class in the caravan.
Because doctors say I still have to be careful for the first year.
Because the doctor said I have to still be careful for the first year
After my liver transplant,
after my liver transplant,
to not get any infection.
not get any infection.
That's why I had to go to class from within the caravan.
So that's why I had to give class from within the caravan.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.